story, the silence between us, Emma and Jake had been together for 5 years. They loved each other deeply, but lately, something felt off. Their conversations had become shallow, limited to daily logistics like who would pick up groceries or take the dog for a walk. The deeper, meaningful talks they once had seemed to vanish. One evening, after a long day at work, Emma tried to bring up her feelings about their relationship. "Jake, I feel like we're not really connecting anymore," she said hesitantly. Jake, scrolling through his phone, replied without looking up, "We're fine, Emma." "You're overthinking it?" Emma sighed, feeling dismissed. She wanted to explain how lonely she felt, but Jake's response made her shut down. Instead of pushing further, she retreated into silence. Over time, small misunderstandings began to pile up. Emma would hint at her frustrations, but Jake would either brush them off or get defensive. Meanwhile, Jake felt like Emma was always nagging him, though he never said it out loud. They were stuck in a cycle of miscommunication, each feeling unheard and misunderstood. The breaking point on Saturday morning, Emma finally snapped. "You never listen to me, Jake. It's like I don't even matter to you." Jake, caught off guard, fired back, "And you're always criticizing me. Nothing I do is ever good enough." The argument escalated, with both of them throwing out accusations and past grievances. By the end, they were both exhausted and emotionally drained. It was clear something had to change. The solution? Active listening and honest communication. The next day, Emma suggested they sit down and really talk. She started by saying, "I feel like we've been drifting apart, and it's been really hard for me. I miss the way we used to connect." This time, Jake put his phone down and looked at her. He realized how much his dismissiveness had hurt her. "I'm sorry, Emma. I didn't realize how much this was affecting you. I've been stressed with work, but that's no excuse." Emma nodded, feeling a small sense of relief. "I understand work is stressful, but I need us to make time for each other. Can we try to have regular check-ins, just to talk about how we're feeling?" Jake agreed. They decided to set aside 15 minutes every evening to talk openly about their day, their feelings, and any issues they were facing. They also made a rule to use I statements instead of blaming each other. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen," Emma would say, "I feel unheard when I try to share my thoughts." The turning point at first, it felt awkward. They weren't used to being so vulnerable with each other. But over time, it became easier. Jake learned to listen actively, giving Emma his full attention and validating her feelings. Emma, in turn, became more patient and understanding of Jake's stress. One evening, during their check-in, Jake said, "I feel really appreciated when you thank me for the little things I do, like making coffee in the morning." Emma smiled. "I feel loved when you ask me about my day and really listen." They realized that communication wasn't just about talking, it was about truly understanding each other. The more they practiced active listening and honest expression, the stronger their connection became. The resolution months later, Emma and Jake found themselves laughing together on the couch, reminiscing about how far they'd come. The silence that once felt heavy between them was now filled with warmth and understanding. They still had disagreements, but they handled them differently. Instead of avoiding difficult conversations, they faced them head-on, knowing that their relationship was worth the effort. As Emma often said, "It's not about being perfect, it's about being honest and willing to grow together." Moral of the story, communication is the foundation of any strong relationship. By practicing active listening, expressing feelings honestly, and making time for regular check-ins, couples can overcome misunderstandings and build a deeper, more meaningful connection.